Everyone we see is a reflection of us.
I'm quite old-fashioned in a way where it comes to technology and AI or artificial intelligence. I think because I've been in the industry before working with digital programming and CCTV and facial recognition technology and all of the likes. I've never been an advocate for cameras. I've never liked it. I've never liked the idea. I believe it has benefits in recording the information, but I believe the long-term effects don't really warrant the idea. I think for safety and security against others is the wrong way to have them, but more about capturing events, I think, is a better way to do it. I think facial recognition is also a way of limiting those or hurting those people to a social credit system type environment. Yeah, it can be hidden away from people if they're banned or need jail time. Then, of course, there's potential benefits, but to be honest, I think they're always going to be used in a negative way. So the internet speeds, fast internet, I think as well, is as long as you use it, there are so many pieces of technology claiming to do one thing and another, and really there's no benefit. I mean, how big can a phone get before it becomes complicated, before it's a walking PC? And then it all comes back down to making them smaller again with foldable screens and stuff. People are being twisted and manipulated and turned into the way where we had this all before. I mean, but because it's new age to the new people, they don't realize that this stuff doesn't work. It's just another gimmick, another thing to break, or another new invention to see where it's all going. That doesn't need to happen. So it's fascinating to see it all come back around again. For those that can remember flip phones, well, we're back there again, just with a giant screen. But I want to talk mainly today about the introduction of AI and learning algorithms. For those old enough to remember the Terminator movies, it all came through with Skynet. And everyone was told about how robots can learn, and they need the human data to do that. And what's interesting is they have been telling you from the Terminator movies to Iron Man with the protection through that and Ultron. And ultimately, the notion that everything started out as protection and safety and then turned into something darker, more sinister, and it's interesting. It's both outcomes, completely two different areas, but both have the same effect of annihilation. But you see, it wouldn't have happened if humans didn't create it to begin with, or didn't allow it to be created. So let's currently have a look at what AI is currently doing in the art scene, where there are a few AI companies out there who you have to type in what you want to see, maybe a texture, a font type, or a color, or a background. But people are forgetting one thing. It's basically creating the photo for you by your predictive text. by your information, and then it's going and folding it all together by ripping off other images and sticking them together and creating what it is that you said. Now, that's all well and good. It's basically just like an overlay over an overlay and then molding it together and doing all of that. Now, a human can do that, but it costs money. It takes time and experience and learning. And why would you do that when you can just put in some text and it creates the image you're after? Well, right now it's learning. There are information that people are typing in where the system is learning. People forget that. They think that it just automatically joins it. No, it doesn't. It learns what you're typing. It learns what people are looking for, what's inside your head. It learns the stuff that you want to see from shadows and textures, but the creative side to where your brain's at. And it learns these characteristics about human culture. What do people search for? What do people look for? In the surveillance world, they have the planning where it will scan footage, whether it's live or recorded, for a week or 2 weeks. And based on public movement, it can be predictive in knowing what is deemed to be normal to what is abnormal. So they can predict if a fight is starting out, or if there's too much traffic, or if someone is loitering. So it learns the predictive movement of society and then knows the difference between what is normal considered at this time. AI is doing that. People forget. AI is learning. If you haven't been pre-warned about what it's doing, is you're feeding it information. Now, I think there are avenues where AI could make things a whole lot easier in creating beautiful pictures or sceneries that might bring your ideas into fruition. And I think aspects like that, used only for that, is amazing. It's beneficial. It shows you where technology can go, but you kind of lose the purpose of having an artist or a graphic designer who has spent years upon years on studying how to create it through Blender or Maxon or Photoshop or any of the drawing programs that are out there. There's a plethora of, to then go onto a computer where you just type in a few letters and it does the same thing. But you see, it wouldn't have that background information or photo skills if it wasn't for these people. But they don't get credit. But then the intellectual properties behind all of this AI stuff is massive. Who owns the rights to it? You don't know that. You don't know where the property rights are. How do we not know that in 5 to 10 years' time, everyone's going to get sued because of the licensing rights? We don't know that. These are the unpredictability factors of AI. Even the companies who use it themselves put a disclaimer that they do not take ownership of the image, and it is clearly your responsibility. You have to weigh in these options that people are using AI at their own detriment, and the complications can be massive. Plus, wouldn't you rather pay a human being money to create something beautiful than a machine? I know I would. I think the reward is greater, the respect and the love is greater. But you see, the more AI learns, the more you feed it, the more digital the world becomes, the more inhumane and unnatural the world becomes. We've already seen it through what NFTs are trying to do with the art world. It is a joke. Don't get me wrong, there are amazing artists out there who are creating NFTs, but look what it's done to people emailing and going on Instagram, messaging people about whether they'll sell their art as NFTs. So new scammers, new platforms. And all it is just a digital image of what you have that shows no worth. Place a monetary value on it, now everyone's an artist. Now everyone can make some money and put their money into platforms and become wealthy based on a 2D image. Congratulations to those who have, and the hardworking ones who have. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a benefit, but I don't really see it. To me, one EMP away and all of a sudden everyone's invested NFTs disappear. You know, you have to look at the factors here that why are people being pushed towards a digital world or an AI world? If you are having all your house, your home, smart TVs, smart fridges, smart cars, your whole infrastructure built behind AI technology, and an EMP hits, you're gone. Your livelihood, your home, your house, you are heavily reliant on everything that the government can give you. Kids who have only known one way growing up with digital technology, they don't know how to survive. Because people have fallen into the trap of this artificial nonsense. Because they're using it for the betterment of themselves and because they think that's where the world is going. But in hindsight, it is not where the world is going. It is where they want you to see where it's going, where all the meantime, they're still driving their petrol cars and flying their planes and eating their steaks and all of the stuff where they're getting proper art being bought. All the stuff that costs value and money and is meaningful, they are acquiring while pushing you into your digital society. But you see, it's all pretty, isn't it? It's all beautiful and AI and look how fast it can do. And I'm an artist. But it has no meaning. So what is AI really, when you think about it? They have told you many times what it's going to do and what their achievement is. And many a time they have shown you what's going to happen too. Pretty sure they did it in Terminator if you were paying attention. There's a whole lot coming. But I don't believe it. I don't believe that AI is the savior of everything and NFTs are great. I think it's a temporary fix. I think it's a way of making people more wealthy or investing into this area, taxing them on it when they want to get rid of the cash, therefore leaving all of your wealth in and using it to buy things, therefore creating a digital world and then taking it away from you. All the meantime slipping in the digital world in with surveillance and 15-minute cities. When you realize this, ask yourself, where would you be without it? Who would you be without it? And where is your heart and your energy and your trust? So I leave you once again with love and peace and light.